Welcome to Buckeyes Tomorrow Morning for Wednesday, August 20th. I'm your host, Tom Orr. The Texas game in 10 days. The game against Michigan in 101 days. If you're planning your next event, make it unforgettable with Grateful Griddle, Columbus's favorite food truck, serving up smash burgers, gourmet sandwiches, and good vibes. Book your catering today at GratefulGriddleOH.com. I'm joined by Tony Gerdeman of BuckeyeHuddle.com here inside the Woody Hayes Athletic Center. Just got a chance to talk to the Ohio State secondary. Coaches Tim Walton and Matt Guerreri. Got a chance to talk to Davis Nigonos, Jermaine Matthews, and Caleb Downs, and I believe that was it.
And Lorenzo Styles.
And Lorenzo Styles Jr., yes. So I know one of the first questions you asked Matt Guerreri was about the nickel position. What are we to read? He didn't really want to answer.
No.
What do we want to read into? We got a chance to talk to Lorenzo Styles Jr. and not other guys who are presumably starters.
Yeah, no confirmations on who's number one on that whole area, or and then Tim Walton was asked how well does Lorenzo do what Jordan Hancock did last year. He's like, well, it all depends on the games and the matchups, and so not a lot of information being passed out by the coaches in terms of what they're seeing, other than everybody's good. Obviously Lorenzo Styles has gotten better, and Lorenzo himself said he's comfortable and he feels best about man-to-man stuff, man-to-man coverage, and then getting more comfortable and playing in space deep when he has to drop back in that role. But they don't like talking names right now. Ryan Day said he felt good about two guys at nickel. Now, does that mean Caleb Downs and Lorenzo Styles? Does that mean Lorenzo Styles and Bryce West? I don't know that you can eliminate Caleb Downs from that, though. So is that just Caleb Downs and Lorenzo Styles right now?
Yeah, and Caleb Downs is, there's a question about, okay, does what you do with Caleb Downs change with who else is out there with Caleb Downs? And does that, what you want to do with Caleb Downs impact who else is out there with, does who else is out there with him impact what Caleb Downs does? But does what you want to do with Caleb Downs impact who else is out there with him? And they didn't want to go into any specifics, but I walked away from what was broadly a non-answer with the same thought I've had all along, which is, yeah, man, both of the other guys are going to play safety as well, and you're going to see them like in the first half against Texas going to kind of play. Yeah,
that was one of the questions I asked Matt Guerreri. I said, whoever wins this competition, if it's not already been won already between Jalen McClain and Malik Hartford, does that then dictate where Caleb Downs will be? And he's like, again, not necessarily, because guys can do different things and everybody's versatile, everybody's flexible. But also, so then I'm like, so do you just consider, do you feel like you have three starters? They're like, yes, but we don't use that term. We say game-ready players. We've got three game-ready players at safety. You'll see them. People get hung up on and he said people get hung up on the term starters, which we've talked about before, because he said a corner, you could have two starting corners, but you open up in heavy, and now your corner is suddenly not starting. Does that mean anything? No.
Yeah, no, right. Yeah, you're going to be out there. You look at the number of snaps much more than who's out there for the start of the game. And yeah, I'm fully expecting to see multiple, probably three different safeties with at least 10, 15, 20 snaps against Texas, and then moving beyond that. Caleb Downs gave a little bit more of a definitive answer, just kind of like where he likes to be. Said closest to the box, closest to the action. Like he's gonna be in all sorts of different places, and he's gonna be, they're gonna use him in all sorts of different places. They're gonna move him around to wherever they feel the action is going to be. But also, you watch him and you're like, yeah, that's a guy who likes to hit people. And if you're close to the action, you get to hit people.
Yeah, and you can do that at that nickel Sam type of thing. We've seen him basically become a third linebacker and do his thing last year. So he's going to be one of those players, one of the rare players that can just not necessarily do his own thing, but you do unique things with him, and then everybody else backs him up. And of course, everybody talks about how he's a coach on the field. Davis Nigonos says, I call him Coach Downs. Both Tim Walton and Matt Guerreri, including Matt Patricia, talk about how you can have conversations with him as if he is a coach. So you can talk differently with him. And so I asked Coach Walt, how you've coached both in college and the NFL. At what point do you normally start having these conversations that you have with Caleb Downs with other players? Like, well, college it's rare. And about your third year of the NFL is about when you can start having these conversations. So I'm like, so he's like a 3-year NFL veteran. He's like, yeah, right about there.
Which is nuts because he's barely starting his third year of being a college football vet, let alone a third-year NFL player. So, yeah, all the stuff we've heard about him all along, film rat, really understands the game, very, very intelligent. That's the kind of stuff that coaches talk about that's not the direct on-field stuff, but is the stuff that really kind of moves the needle for coaches. I thought it was interesting, Matt Guerreri had used some of the other words that are kind of those needle-moving words for coaches that are not necessarily the exciting words. Talked about Jalen McLean's consistency of effort. He said he got the highest effort grade of any of the secondary guys last year.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say he did that last year, but he was talking about it last year. He talked about it last year as well, where he's just continually chasing the ball. I remember it may have been after that or well before it. I do these like closer look pieces on the incoming freshmen, and I did one on Jalen McLean, and I put together like 2 or 3 minute clip of just him chasing the football down, and it could be like from 40 yards away, or like he's on this side of the field and he tracks him down, and it's just him chasing the ball down, not giving up on a play, and he continues to do that here. That's just who he is.
Yeah, and that's the stuff that coaches absolutely love. It's, when we talk about wide receivers, we're talking about, well, how are you in terms of run blocking and that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff with defensive backs. If you're running down plays from 40 yards away, even if you don't have a chance, maybe the guy cuts back. Maybe there was like Ted Ginn in the running the end around against Notre Dame in the Fiesta Bowl. Like Doug Daddish was hustling down, and you watch Ted Ginn run past him like, the roadrunner past the coyote. And then Doug Daddish catches up with him later as Ted Ginn is zigging and zagging and stuff, but that's an effort play. That's the stuff that coaches love to see. Orlando Pace blocking the guy from Rice, 50 yards downfield in a game that they won by 63 points. That's the stuff coaches love. So when you hear coaches talking about a guy like Jalen McLean, I go, yeah, this kind of moves the needle a little bit for me in terms of expectations for those guys. One of the other things that I thought was interesting was, I don't think you were over there for any of Jermaine Matthews, but I went over. I made a point to go over and listen to him a little bit, and he's, you know what you expect from him. He's very entertaining. He's very outgoing. He's, a great kid, but a great player as well. You're going over there expecting like, oh, he's going to say something outrageous. And then I was over there for a few minutes, and he's talking about how he needs to be more consistent, getting more reps in the slot, but the importance of being a good tackler in the slot and being more consistent in the slot. And last year was about helping the team in any way possible. This year it's all about being consistent. And, he was asked about Davis Nigonos, and talked about Davison having working on being more intentional about his technique. And it's like, look, he's talking like the coaches now. This is someone who is potentially in his last season as a college football player. And, I'm sure he's going to have his moments on the field where he's doing the cornerback thing, which cornerbacks do. This is what they do. But I'm just listening to him talk, and it's like, this is a very business-like approach from Jermaine Matthews.
Well, and Ryan Day said it a week or two ago, where he was surprised at how much of a leader Jermaine Matthews has become, because the Jermaine Matthews that we've always known is, like, I always talk about how in all of your photos he's always got the biggest smile. Doesn't really matter what's going on. He's always happy, but like he's still the energy guy, but he's very serious about things now. And I think one of the reasons is his role is larger. It is possibly a contract year, but he's more serious now. And although to say that, it's not that he wasn't serious before. He started a couple of games as a true freshman. He started a couple of games, a game or two last year. Like, he has been part of this rotation his entire career. So he's always been serious. But now you've seen him continue to take that level up where, if he is back next year, is he a captain?
Yeah. He's definitely, as you said, Ryan Day has talked about him being a leader, and you can sort of just talking to him sense that in him, that this is a little bit of a different role in this locker room now that some of those older veteran guys are gone.
I'll go to the other guy, Davis Nigonos, and we've talked about him repeatedly being a leader in that room and how we've seen him do those leadership things. He was asked about the penalties and what he's done to work on that, and he said basically last year, he just wasn't turning and looking for the ball. Where if he would have done that, he could have gotten away with being so handsy, and also, it wasn't just grabbing once you get beat. It's just being better at the top of the route, getting your head around, playing the ball. As long as he plays the ball, he believes he'll be fine. Tim Walton said the same thing. Like, he's doing much better at that, playing the ball. So he seems to be, everybody seems confident that the issues that he had here and there last year won't be the issues there. That doesn't mean you're not going to get called.
Right.
Everybody's going to get called, but they seem to have figured out what the issues were, what the problems were. And then Tim Walton was asked about, like, once you have the reputation, don't the refs, have you talked about how the refs will look for him more? And he's like, the calls don't matter as long as we're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Like, so you just do your thing, play your game, and if they make bad calls, they make bad calls. Don't worry about that.
Coming up this fall, the Reputation Tour brackets Davison's version. Thoughts? No? Okay. Moving on. Lorenzo Styles Jr. Talked about the fact that this is a little different year for him because he graduated. He said nothing but football. Like, did not seem devastated by that either. You mentioned earlier feels good in man-to-man coverage. He was asked about Caleb Downs and just playing with Caleb Downs and how that benefits him, and he talked about Caleb Downs just as a leader and just all the stuff that everyone talks about in terms of intelligence on the field and being able to call stuff out and all that kind of stuff. But also said Caleb got my vote as a captain.
Yep.
So, and then Caleb Downs was asked about Texas because this is, in 3 years of college football, this will be his third time playing Texas. He played them at Alabama as a freshman and then played them at Ohio State last year and then played them again. His impressions of Texas, he just said Sark does a great job with the offense. Lots of eye candy, just stuff, motion shifts to just kind of give you a bunch of stuff to look at. Also said the 15-play script is legendary. That is one of those Sark things, that 15-play script at the start of the game. Right now, I'm going to tell everyone, if Texas goes right down the field and scores a touchdown on the opening drive, do not climb up on the roof of your house. This is what Sark is known for. Is you get off to a fast start, they look incredible right out of the box. Do not be shocked if they go down the field and score a touchdown on the opening drive. That's kind of what Sark does. I mean, you heard Caleb Downs talking about it today.
He gave you his impression of Texas. Did he give any impressions of Texans? Did he do any of those impressions?
He did. No, he did not. Yeah,
that would have been nice.
Sadly,
that would have been good for the reels and the clips like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the way people talk about him, it's unlike. It's like the way people talk about Jeremiah Smith physically. Is the way they talk about Caleb Downs mentally and just like being advanced and all of that. One last thing for me, I don't know, I'm not trying to wrap up the show.
I'm out, so I was going to ask you, so you're right on time.
I asked Coach Walton about what they saw, what he's seen from Julian Sand, and basically, has he given you guys enough work? He's like, yeah, he gets the ball out quick. That was something that Davis Nigonos said as well. Like, you try to read his three-step drop, and by the time you get there, it's too late because the ball is already there. So he can make all of the throws, does all of the reads. Matt Patricia said the same thing. Like, they try to give him stuff, and he's been able to handle it. So the offensive coaches seem happy. The defensive coaches seem to respect what they have seen.
All right, so there you go. So 10 days till the Ohio State-Texas game, number 1 versus number 2 inside Ohio Stadium. Really looking forward to that. Can't believe we are 3 days away from college football season and 10 days away from number 1 versus number 2. Wouldn't this be a great time to join BuckeyeHuddle.com? I agree, Tony. Thank you for pointing that out. That is where Tony, Kevin, and I cover the team. We got our recruiting coverage. We got our X's and O's coverage. That is all at BuckeyeHuddle.com. Right now, you get access for your first month for just $5. That first month will obviously cover you through a good chunk of the first month of the season, including that Texas game. 3 games in that first month of membership for just $5, and then you want to stick around? Great. You can sign up for an annual membership or keep going month to month. But it is a great place to talk Buckeye football, learn about Buckeye football, understand Buckeye football, all there at BuckeyeHuddle.com. That will do it for today. Thank you guys all for joining us. Have a great day. We will talk to you tomorrow.